Hello, everybody. I'm Jim Powers, the Assistant Commissioner of the Sooner Athletic Conference, and we welcome you to Inside the Sooner, powered by our great friends from Tinker Federal Credit Union. And we're going to go to Langston. Their women's basketball team claimed the women's basketball regular season championship, and they will be the top seed as we head into the tournament starting on Thursday. Their head coach, Chris Vincent, joins us. And Chris, watching a game on Saturday when you guys finally clinched the top seed, just the relief on your face I could see from the video was just absolutely priceless. Congratulations, and you got to be so proud of what you guys have accomplished this year.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, it's nice for things to end the way they did. I had alluded to in one of the interviews at the post game. It was crazy. We still had a one game lead going into the last game with the record that we had, and there were so many really good teams right behind us pushing us. So there was always a lot at stake in these last few weeks, and everybody responded well. I'm just glad, also senior day ended the way everyone tries to envision it, and on top of a championship means just so much.
And the way the conference played out this year, I mean, there wasn't a clear cut all year long. And that's what made the final couple weeks of the regular season so much fun to follow. And I know we finished up on Monday night with a couple matchups due to weather from
Mm.
last week. But I'm going to go back to the loss on the road down at Tex West when you guys were still, in that fight with Wayland. What did you tell the girls after that game to kind of get them refocused for the last couple games, knowing that still you had everything on the table when it came to the regular season title and the top seed?
Yeah, to be honest, us as coaches, we always want to say, "Hey, let's learn from a win." And as hard as it was, I wasn't totally upset after the game. I told my staff before we went into the locker room, everything's got to be positive from here. Like this needs to be a real learning experience. And I thought for us to learn from a loss really was defining a little bit because we had been on, I think, like a 19 game win streak at
Yeah.
that time. And sometimes, you can just, not that we prepare any different. I've talked about that all year long, no matter who we're playing, but uh, I just think it changed a little bit of how it felt. And I told him, I was like, soak this feeling in, like, don't turn the page has been a model for us. But I wanted him to sit with that feeling for a little bit and understand that, okay, if you don't want this to happen again, you need to correct some things. We need to correct some things. We got to be a little bit more detailed in what we do on both sides of the floor. Some players need to step up at big moments. So that was, I thought at that point of the year going into a playoff scenario, sometimes that loss does, help you a little bit. As crazy as that may seem, then it came back to now we're tied for first. So we still needed that, I thought at that time. And I think it changed some of their mindsets. And nothing against Texas Wesleyan is a very good opponent. They play us very tough. He does a really good job of game planning against us. So it was a tournament type game, and then from that point on, it's been laser focused since.
Talk a little bit about the kids. And the first young lady I'm going to mention, and I just love watching her play. She's, won numerous weekly awards for us this year, Michaela Woods. Talk about what she means to your program, the way she plays, the way she conducts herself in practice and in the classroom. She's just got to be one of those kids you just love to coach.
Yeah, no, she does everything for us. She's got that personality where she's very quiet, and then she's kind of got that killer mentality on the floor. She's very special in that way. Um, but I think the biggest thing for her, which I've been most proud of, is I feel like I've really changed her as a person this year. She's been very successful, throughout her career. It's been kind of up and down. You know, she, you know, she was 15 points a game in Conference USA. Um, then 12 at Sam Houston, and then you would expect, and then at Jackson State, they won the league last year. So she's been at three places and battled two injuries along the way. So it hasn't been exactly linear to an extent where everything's going to go, the way it should. And then she got here, and most people would expect, well, you should average this, this, and this. And we don't really go by numbers. It's the way we play, and she's become more unselfish. But I think the biggest thing that I've got from her is just changing her as a person and just seeing the effect of what she's done and how her leadership has grown, how it is infectious, with others around her. And she's really, really changed, So outside of our, accolades and what she leads us in, she's just becoming a better person off the floor, on the floor, and, rallying everyone around her. I allude to, what she quote unquote averaged at some higher places, but she also leads us now in assists. So she's becoming more of a playmaker for others. And just to see that growth has been really, really big for me.
And she hasn't been the only one. Talk about a few of the others that have just really been a very integral part of what you guys have wanted to do throughout the season to get that regular season championship for the first time as an HBCU school.
Yeah. To be honest, man, all of them are hungry. And I think that's from day one when they got here. It was very evident to everybody that would see them. They never left the gym, the weight room, the track, and it's been consistent the whole year. And I say hungry because a lot of them, have come from other places. And, to say I need to have a great year in these next 4 or 5 months, it's not always easy. You can press, you can get anxious about, how am I performing? Am I doing what I'm supposed to do? And some of them just haven't had great experiences either at the Division 1 level or some of them at the JUCO level. So just to see all that come together, that's what it's really all about. When I saw the tears on their faces the other day, I mean, that's what they came here for. So, they've become such an unselfish group. You look at all of our, numbers, we have like 12, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, and that's just who we are. I mean, no one really cares about, who's getting what, and that's what's made this group so special.
And all coaches, I'm a former coach. We all have goals for the season. I
Yeah,
did when I coached. I know you do. You got
yeah,
two of them. You got the
yeah.
regular season Sooner championship. You got
Mm,
the automatic bid into the NAIA tournament.
mm.
Now there's still two more. You still got a tournament championship to win, but also I know it's very important that you guys are representing Langston on championship week at Langston University. How cool is that going to be for your kids to be able to play at home starting on Thursday, win there, and then you get to play the semifinals and possibly the championship on your home court?
Yeah, it's really special. I mean, when the den gets packed out the way it can be, we've been able to pack it out this year during regular season games, and being a part of two other SAC tournaments in the past 2 years, I can only imagine what it's going to be like, with both the men and women there. So it's going to be really exciting. I think it's neat to have it, there just because of the environment that, that place possesses. So. Um, just excited. Don't have to travel, can kind of stay local and, really excited. There's really, really good teams in this league, really good players. And we need to turn the page now and say, okay, chapter one is done, but still be as hungry to win the next game in front of you. And that's, on Thursday during our quarterfinals. So we're going to treat every game the same, just like we have consistently the whole year. But it is going to be neat to see that place, host a conference tournament.
And this tournament this year is just going to be, I mean, anybody can get anybody. And we have seen that throughout the season this year. When you look at, you guys, you look at Wayland, you look at, look at the upstart first year in the conference and College of the Ozarks. They make a big splash. They're going to be the number 4 seed. Just talk about how tough this tournament's going to be to try to maneuver through over the next week because of just the talent and the coaching and the great teams we have in our league.
Listen, I'm a Northeast guy, so I grew up in the Big East, and I feel like this is, when I say that, it's true that 1 through 8 can, on any given night, if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, you don't prep the way you do. You can get upset, or a team can creep in and win, and I think that's what's going to make this tournament really exciting. and I'm excited to just see, how it pans out. And like I said, if we can have like the best teams in that Final Four and in the environment that we can have up at LU, I think it's going to make for a great, back-to-back days.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, first off, congratulations. I know it's well deserved. I know it's been a long season so far, but there's still work to do. I'm excited to get down to Langston. I'll be there Thursday night for the quarterfinals and then for the semis and the finals. Looking forward to visiting with you in person. But congratulations. Enjoy the week, and we'll see you on Thursday in the quarterfinals.
Awesome. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate you having me on.
Chris Vincent, the head coach at Langston on their women's basketball side. They are the Sooner Athletic Conference 2025 regular season champions. A lot of work to do. The conference tournament starts on Thursday, four quarterfinal sites around the Midwest. And then everybody, all the winners will head to Langston for our semifinals on Monday and our championship on Tuesday. We'll have a lot more about that on our website, SoonerAthletic.org. So follow along right there. Thanks to Coach. Thanks to everybody tuning in. I'm Jim Powers. This is Inside the Sooner, powered by Tinker Federal Credit Union.